Alright guys, gals, and my rhines. This is part of the game of China. So, that's a killer amp right there. It makes a lot of power. And it's cool and it's got some badass fans and shit on. This is a brand new amp. Brand new. It don't like 16 volt. It don't like 15.7. Nope. We ran this amp for maybe 30 minutes 2 times, and I get in it today after it set. The car has set till about 9 o'clock tonight, and it was 94 degrees outside at 9 o'clock. And I turned the system on. I was gonna go to the store, and I heard this amp running, the fan running. But when I went to turn the switches on, I was like, hell, it's not working. I was like, I know it's on this switch. I've ordered new labels. They just ain't here yet. I'm like, I know it's on this switch, which is right here. And I'll show you. I'm in my damn boxer shorts, of course, half naked out here in the front yard. This one right now is what turns on the amp. That amp. So I turned it on, I looked back here and it was in protect. Guys, I've run into this several times, and this is not the first amp, this one, to do what it did. I've had a Bruce Lee that does not like 16 volt. One out of probably 50. I've had one Surge that didn't like a certain temperature. In other words, if it was 45 degrees, and that Surge came from Amp Lab, so it wasn't a new Surge. It came from Amp Lab. It looked brand new. I don't know what it was in there for, but I'm gonna think it was in there for not coming on when it was cold outside, and they couldn't put 2 and 2 together. And like I said, guys, on the test bench in Carpet Audio living room headquarters, these amps will run perfect as a motherfucker in headroom and a Carpet Audio headquarters. Same thing as, like I said, on the bench. You run them on the bench, they'll run fine. You get them in the car, a true system, and man, these damn newer Chinese amps and shit, Korean too, whatever you want to call them, they do not like the higher voltages sometimes. I don't know what the hell it is. That's not my expertise, but they don't like the higher voltage. Now, this amp right here, I took it in Carpet Audio Labs and put it on 14.4, and it runs like a champ. Perfect. No problem. I can run it up to 14.8 or so, no problem. You get over 15.5, and the motherfucker's gonna cut off. It's gonna go on protect. It doesn't, I mean, it's a badass amp, guys. I don't know what else to say. It's a bad son of a bitch. It's cool. Runs cool and all that shit, but it ain't gonna work in this car, no. And that's bad when I paid a lot of money for this amp, guys. I paid, I think, $175 for this amp. Was that what I paid for it? Yeah. The seconds, was that? It might not have been this amp. I think that was that Surge amp. I don't remember what I paid for this, but it was high. And it was brand new out of the box. Worked fine. I mean, hell, y'all seen that or heard the video and all that shit. That's what was running. So I'm either going to keep this amp and use it in Carpet Audio Labs for the system in my room or in the living room system, or I got a buddy that wants to do a garage build system, and it'll run on a power supply at 14.4 or whatever, and it'll be fine. Now, if somebody wants this amp, I'm going to put it on eBay for $100. That is a goddamn steal, but it's not going to run 15.5 or up. No. So don't go, oh man, I put it in my 16 volt. It won't run. No. It's going to be perfectly fine below 15.5. You go any higher than that, it's not going to fucking work. No. That's sweat right there. I've sat out here and sweated. So I said, fuck it. I'm gonna go ahead and put in the Nakamichi 800. I was gonna put these amps in here anyway at some point. This is the one I told you was killer. Makes killer power at 16 volts, and these will run 16.4 all day long. I'm not even running 16 volts, guys. We're running 15.7 to 15.8 in this car. Now we charge at 16, but I even tried to, I've got the car shut off and it won't run, and that was at 15.6 on the battery. Yeah, if I let it sit and everything run for a while, it got down to 15.6, it won't run. 15.5 is good. I ain't gonna drive around 15.5, so I went ahead and changed it out. And these little covers, the way these covers work, I'll show you, they just slide on, and I'm not gonna put them on while I tune the amp. I just rough tuned it. I didn't even see if it'll play, but I know it will. It'll turn on. So I'm gonna come out tomorrow during the day and go ahead and, while I don't wake my neighbors up, because it's late as hell. It's probably 2 in the morning. I don't know what time it is, but I've already got it set kind of half decent, and I'll show you that it comes on, no problem. Man, it was weird too. You could unhook the grounds, you could unhook the power, plug it back in, but as soon as you turn the switch on, no, it ain't happening. So see, that one's going in protect, and it's going through its health check. There it goes, green. It's just the way it is, guys. Like I said, out of probably 1 out of 50 Bruce Lees, I had one that wouldn't run 16. And it did that immediately when I put it in. I had a surge that didn't like cold weather below like 45 degrees. The amp would not come on. You take the remote out, put the remote back in, it would come on and stay on. If you try to turn it on by a switch panel or a key switch, below 45 degrees, it is not coming on. It would stay in protect for 7 days. You unplug the remote, plug it back in, it's going to work. I still have that amp. It came from Amp Lab like that. I think they thought they had it fixed, but no, it's not fixed. I ain't talking shit about them. They just didn't know what they were troubleshooting. I guess, I don't know. I'm just guessing Colin might have sent them the amp saying, hey, this motherfucker ain't working, it's warranty. And they really don't know what the problem was, but I can tell them now the problem is it doesn't like 45 degrees below. It'll run 100, it'll run 120 degrees, it'll run 99, it'll run 60 degrees, but when it's 45 and below, it's not coming on. Not unless you unplug the remote and plug it back in. We switched remote wires, we did everything. Finally, I figured it out, and I was like, this motherfucker doesn't like the temperature. So that means I've had one surge that didn't like the temperature. I've had one X-Fire that doesn't like 15.5 or up, but that's a 16 volt amp, clearly stated. And so, and like I said, I had one Bruce Lee that doesn't like 16 either. It's just like this one. That tells me it's all something in common with the amps. It's not the car. The car has nothing to do with it, because I ran 2 Jensens in here that are for sale on eBay. Guys, I ran them for almost a year, and there's not a problem. Never once had a problem, and they were 10 and 11 years old. That's what I'm trying to say. You can't go by the names. It's just what kind of look you get from China. You guys have a great day. What's the sum? It's not shutting. Is it hitting something? Probably. I might have to come up a little higher with that amp. Just a tad. Yeah, I might have to come up just a little baby hair. Let me change that out. I got to go up just a hair. It's a little bit too thick. I think it's going to hit my, damn, I missed that sucker by like a half an inch. That sucks. It's about a half inch. I might roll it down to see. I can't even see. This has been a pain in the ass, to say the least. Let me see. I think it's hitting just a little tiny bit. I'll roll my front one again in case the motherfucker don't. Let's see what we hitting here. Yep, look at that. That's why I don't put the covers back on till I know that shit'll do. Well, I need to come up 1/2 inch. Well, I'll be damned. Let me do that right quick. But anyway, I thought I'd tell you what's up. Somebody wants this lamps going on the internet for $100. You're gonna pay the shipping. I ain't paying the shipping. That's giving the fucker away, but it will not run 15.5 and up. You guys take care and have a great day. See you.